Welcome back to this series RAC 12C database installation on VMware Workstation 16 Pro. So let's head to the remote desktop. So here I'm going to do the configuration for the yum RPMs on both the instance, and I'm going to upload the downloaded RPMs from the yum.oracle.com. If you remember, in the previous part we have downloaded one RPM and saved it on the desktop. The reason why I'm moving this file to those Linux servers is it's a predefined RPM which will download all the dependencies RPMs or once you run the command installing this RPM using RPM. So it will do in the background all the groups creation, user creation, and changing mount point permissions and adding the details to the uh, Linux configuration files. It will do all the most of the configurations on behalf of us. So let's start and see how we can proceed. So let me open the virtual machine. And one more thing, important thing is whenever you do some major changes on the VMware workstation to any of your instance, so I suggest that you take a snapshot so you can revert it back immediately if you crash or if you fail to do some configuration and you are not able to restore the machine. Instead of reconfiguring, re-implementation and all that hard stuff, it's better to take a snapshot. So I have already taken the snapshot for my both VMs. So let me show you how you can take that. You can just go to this VM menu, and from that you can head to this snapshot option and just take a snapshot. So what it will do is it will take the current state of your VMs as a snapshot, and you can revert it back at any point in time if you fail or you failed, or it can happen, the crash. So usually sometimes when you just power off the machine due to some power plug or something, so it's better to take a backup. Here is the one which I have taken the snapshot right after adding the mount point U01. So let me log in and start the yum server configuration. We have to log in as a root. So let me see if the disk is connected. Settings, and the disk is already there, ISO file. So let me connect the disk. It's connected and you should see the ISO mounted on this local server. That is what we are looking for, this one. So let me open the terminal and head to /mnt, or it should be in the media. No, in some cases it will go to run media. There you see root, and under that there is the content of our ISO file. Under this you will see the directory name packages. Here are all the packages what we require. It comes with a pre-bundle in the ISO file. Right, I provided the wrong command, so we are here. Let's do the pwd and let's disable the default configuration of yum what we have already on this server. By default, when we configure the Oracle Linux server, config -manager space hyphen disable \start. Right, it has disabled the default configuration. Now let's move under the directory called /etc/yum.repo. Here it contains the yum configuration. You can see ls-ntra. There is a file which contains the configuration for your yum server, which comes default by the operating system. Here it is pointing to the Oracle repository. However, we do not have license and we are not registered with Oracle, so we will not be able to install the add-ons and some other RPMs which requires a license and authentication with the Oracle repository. Right, so let's take the backup of this file. mv public hyphen original. Okay, then we will create the file called yum in the current directory -n. The file will not be open into the memory. OLX 76.34. You can give any name. I'm using a VIM editor. So now here I need to type the names and details for the OL 76. Okay. After that, what do we need? We need the name and the base URL. Name is equals to we can give any name. Oracle Linux 7.6 x_86_64. Right now we have to give the base URL, which is file // and it should be under run media. What was this? I think we will get the name again. Let's keep this one. We will modify this file after getting the same from that location. gpg is equals to file. It should be under etc pki /rpm hyphen gpg /rpm hyphen gpg hyphen key. Now we can enable the jpg key check to 1 and enabled is equals to 1. That is all what we need to do. Let's save this file and let's do ls run media and save what was root olx. Right, so we might have to change to that location. pwd, let's I think because due to the space it might give an error for us. .repo file name, right. Oh, I did not copy the location. Save and exit. Just copy this location. Copy. And again open that file. Paste it. Save and exit. Now let's clean the no such file. That is okay. Now let's do the repo list. Extra, it's failing. Like I said, it is failing because of, I think this is the reason it's unable to parse the base URL because there is a space. Okay, we can fix that. Let's go to that location. Cd run media root. Yes, right. So let's copy all the content. Star. And before that, let's make a directory dir /rpms. In this manner, you can execute 2 or 3 commands in a single line. Now let's do -cp star, which is the present directory. Under present directory to rpms. It has created a directory, then after the creating directory it has executed the second command, which is nothing. Copy all the content of this location and paste it into the newly created directory, which is nothing the / and rpm. Once it is done, we have to modify the repo file again and execute those both commands again. Then we should be able to see the list of RPMs. While it gets updated, we'll go and download one FTP software. WinSFTP. WinSFTP. This is an FTP to download and upload the files. It's a free software. It's already got downloaded. Accept the term, install Explorer. It is still moving the files. Here we need to launch. So here I will enter my 21751. I'm going to connect as root, provide the password. Okay, so here I am on the default server, which is root. Now you go to the desktop. Where I can get the file upload. It's creating. I think I need to select the commander. Explorer. That is done. Let's see. Okay, it has completed. So we'll move here. RPMs. Here is all the content. So we'll go back to that yum configuration file. Repo vim space -10 Oracle Linux 7.6 repo. We'll modify this. RPMs. That's it. Let's close and exit, save and exit. Let me clean it again. Clear yum repo list. So now see the repo list got almost 5,134 RPMs. Anyhow, I'm not able to get the WinSCP work correctly. I don't know, this is the latest version, what is wrong. So I will do it. I will manually move the RPM, and the RPM should be here, which we downloaded. Copy and just paste it on the desktop. That's it. So we'll open the terminal again and we'll change our directory to cd desktop, and you can see the RPM vh hyphen rdbms. Oh, once again, let me see what is the command to install the RPM using qvh or so let's just do it RPM hyphen y. It should be QUH. Anyways, it says failed to install the dependencies. Okay, no problem. Yum install. This is very straightforward. The RPM hyphen y. This will install all the dependencies. Alright, so whatever the RPMs we required is available. So I will perform the same activity on the node 2 as well. So let me disconnect the one point and disconnect the Have I opened the terminal? Let me see if it is open somewhere. Is it? So I will check this and disconnect from the server. It's already disconnected now. So I'll go to my node 2 and log in as root, password, and I'm going to connect the same ISO file. So I'll do it quickly over here. etc yum.repo. Let's take a backup. mv public watch it. Okay. Run media root. Yes. So I will execute the same command here. mk dir slash rpms space cp hyphen ibh q ibh why not rp star rpms. So what I'm doing in this command is first I'm creating a directory under root which is forward slash named as rpms. After that I'm doing a cp from the current directory everything into the directory which I just now created. It will start copying. Meanwhile, what we can do is we can do a cp from the this server instead of creating. Let's go to cd yum etc yum.repo, right? cp hyphen rvp file to root at the IP address of the server 7251. Okay, 90168.117.51 colon slash etc slash yahoo dot repo forward slash. Yes, good password. Oh, it is existing at this state. Should be on there. Okay, the file moved to the server. So we can open another terminal here. New tab. And we can verify go to the etc yum.repo and list the content. Oh, it's not here. Click on check. What is the IP? It's the 51. pwd copy. Now see the location. This is the wrong location. Let's do the lsf_dir. You can see the file got updated. Same way, what we will do, we'll go to root stop and we will cp the rpm slash slash. Let's stop. So it got updated. Clear the screen. We need to disable the first yum hyphen config hyphen manager hyphen disable backslash stop. Okay, we have created copied the repo file. So just we need to do yum repo list clear yum clean all. Why it's not available? What is this step we missed? Okay, that looks fine. These files, then why it's not getting updated? Hmm. Clean all yum repo list all. Saying disabled. Why it is saying disabled? Okay, here it is 7.8. What is the content of see? I see there is one issue here. Slash. Oh, what did I do? Let me revert back. Okay. It's enabled. It's not enabled. Should be enabled. So that was the issue. So let's do clean all. Then repo list. Here we go. Change the directory to root stop yum install -y Oracle RDBMS. It will do all the configuration and dependent RPMs. It will install automatically for us. And in the backend, it will create some users and groups and modify some files. For example, it will modify the files under etc sysconfig security sc linux, I guess. Yeah, sure. So let's verify the same. Cat etc sysconfig sc linux. It is still enforced. There is one file I think which is modified by the RPM. Cat etc resolve.conf. No, it is not modified yet. Mhm. Okay. So we need to disable the SC Linux. We'll disable it. Sysconfig SC Linux. Set it to disable. vim-n/sysconfig SC Linux. Enforcing change the status to disabled. I'm going to restart the server, but just before restart, what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the password for Oracle user. Okay, the password got successfully updated, and same I will do it on the node 1. Right, if you can see password, we got the Oracle user without, we did not added this user. It got automatically created once we installed the pre-installed RPM. Same way, if you see G shadow file, which is nothing, just groups information. Here you can see a new DBA group and the install group got already added. Okay, so that was it in this part. In next part, we will do the Oracle database and grid infrastructures, binaries, unzip, and we will configure those binaries files. See you in the next